welcome back, I guess, to the inside of my brain this morning. I'm a little bit late, I think, but not really, kind of. Well, yeah, I guess I'm late, technically. It's alright, though. Here we go. We got a little bit of a journey ahead of us. Downtown Salt Lake right now, heading towards Farmington. So I gotta go jump on the freeway, which is right over this bridge, and head north, which is the way I'm facing. I just gotta get over the bridge to the right, left side of us. Yeah, we're facing the same way, I guess. I can't remember where I left off. I guess I could play it. We could listen to myself. It's so weird. But I'm gonna do it because I literally don't remember. So I'm just gonna listen to the end of the last. Oh, I remember where I left off, I think. Yeah. So, basically, I think I was talking about pleasure and pain, I don't know. Kind of talking about, like, changing your perspective from viewing, pain and suffering, instead of viewing that as actual pain, to just viewing it as pleasure. Maybe not viewing it as pleasure, but just as nothing. Maybe just the positive again, just flow. I don't know. I'm maybe that's a bad example or reference. Maybe it's fine, I guess. But instead of viewing the natural occurrence of the cosmos as pain and suffering, right, which is the result of not intervening with the cosmos, you get pain and suffering. And instead of viewing that as pain, just viewing it as just nothing, right, neutral, the natural flow of the cosmos, right? If I don't intervene with the cosmos, like, for instance, go to work right now, then I'm not going to get the money, and I'm not going to be able to buy food, and I'm going to get hungry, and I'm probably going to die of starvation, right? Obviously someone will help me and whatever, blah, 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 but you know my point, right? I go to work, I'm intervening with the natural flow of this cosmos, which is essentially death, decay, and, right, from death you can recycle your nutrients and become life again, or whatever, right? But that's not the point. The point is, what I'm thinking is that just, oh God, I gotta get gas. Look at that, Salt Lake. I gotta go all the way down to Farmington next. So basically, I forgot to get gas. So we gotta do that too. Sorry. Basically, I was thinking, like, is there gas over here at 6 North? I didn't see a sign that said it. There is gas in there. We'll go somewhere else, it's down the road a little bit. I'm going speeding to get off my ass, dude. But anyways, basically, I was thinking like, so, because my brain is so heavily programmed or conditioned through life's experiences and education and whatever, environment, culture, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm so heavily conditioned to view what I view as pain and suffering and pleasure and satisfaction, then in order to change the perspective of pain and suffering, I can't just, I think I'm gonna have to go all the way in the opposite direction and kind of cancel out that, right? What doesn't make sense? Like, instead of just viewing it as a neutral or negative flow, you know, you have to embrace the pain and the suffering in order to decondition your mind from that perspective, if that makes sense, right? So, and here's what I mean. Hear me out. I have to get gas for sure soon, but we're good. Next thing. The other day, I actually was like hella hungry. I forgot to eat lunch, you know, because I always eat lunch at work, and so when I'm not at work, you know, I usually remember to like try to eat something or snack something, but like if I don't, I start feeling like grumpy and then my stomach hurts because I'm fucking, and I don't realize it, and then later, like when it's dinner time, I'm like starving, and I'm like, why am I so hungry right now? It's like, oh, because I didn't eat lunch today, because, you know what I mean, which is fine, like, but it's just like something that happens, right? And so I was like so freaking, my stomach was like, oh my god. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? You know, like you usually would have eaten 4 hours ago by now, you know what I mean, or 5 hours ago. It's like 5 p.m. and I, you know, we usually eat dinner around 5 or 6, but, and I usually eat lunch around noon, but I didn't. So it's like the last time, you know, my, whatever, I just noticed it. I noticed the feeling. And anyways, so what I kind of started thinking to myself, well, okay, that's uncomfortable, that's painful, like that's, you know, that sucks, it's making me anxious, like, and I need to get food, I need to get some food in there now too, you know, because I can feel that hunger. And so what I did was I told myself, well, what if that isn't pain and suffering and anxious or whatever I'm feeling? What if it's just like, oh man, there's red and blues back there, are they coming up? No, they're going the other way. So like, what if that feeling is pleasure or satisfaction? Like, oh, you know, I don't know. Instead of thinking of it as like, oh, I'm hungry, I haven't eaten, I was thinking of it as like, oh, that feels good. You haven't eaten, you know, like, you still should eat, but it doesn't, you don't have to think of it as bad. And so then it didn't feel as uncomfortable or weird, if that makes sense. I don't know. And so instead of, I don't know. So I'm thinking of like exercises or ideas, you know, things I can do to remember to condition myself out of thinking of pain and negative things as painful and negative, thinking of suffering as suffering, and so embracing those negative emotions and negative situations, embracing them as positive, right? Saying, oh, that feels good, even though it fucking hurts, like my finger hurts, and I keep telling myself, like, no, it doesn't, like, that feels good, my body is feeling good right now and telling me that something's wrong, you know, like, it can still be wrong, and I can still notice it, you know, but also, I don't have to, my brain's, I don't have to let my brain's automatic reaction be that it's bad and painful and you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I do know. That's what I'm trying to say. So, dude, I'm gonna get off here and get gas. There's a bunch of signs right there that says like gas stations and stuff. See right here. So that's usually that's kind of what I was looking for earlier, but we made it. But yeah, so the exercises, thoughts, like, so when I was doing not mindfulness stuff before I ever, you know, the why people put labels on all these things. Basically, just doing meditation and Qigong stuff, where you learn to remember things, like, for example, keeping something, like the reason, like, the monks who carry the beads is because, you know, part of, like, the underlying reason is, like, they're subconsciously constantly reminding themselves of things, right? Their meditations, their whatever they're reminding of, right? Because I think the beads even symbolize, each bead like symbolizes different things. So they, as they touch it, they're remembering different things. So it's literally that in some cases, right? And I'm not saying like carry some beads around or whatever, but I mean like carry something around, not a cigarette or a vape, but like, because I already have a fucking oral fixation that I need to curb. I mean, carry something that can get rid of that, help me get rid of the oral fixation, but also there's a cigarette right up here. There's something that can help me not only get rid of the oral and fixation that I can hold on to, but can also help remind me that this pain and these uncomfortable negative situations and anxiety even that I get all the time, that is not that, you know, it's whatever. And so that's kind of where I'm thinking, like some of the recent examples of things that I have been thinking about as far as trying to change that, you know, change that around. And so not change that around, but kind of recondition my mind, right? Stop losing my train of thought. That's the problem, right? Attention span, whatever. But yeah, so I wanna keep, like, you know, I guess I was talking about being mindful and reminders and stuff, right? I was thinking of like a gratitude stone or gratitude beads, kind of a thing that you can call it, where not gratitude, but actually remembering to embrace suffering and pain. Just like with you would hold a gratitude rock in your pocket. Every time you stick your hand in your pocket, you accidentally touch this rock, and you're like, oh, what's that rock? And you grab it and remember, oh, that's my gratitude rock. And then you start remembering, oh, I now remember I need to be grateful. I'm alive. I have air. I have love and family and food and friends and all that stuff. That's what the gratitude rock is. So I'm thinking, instead of gratitude rock, a suffering rock, a pain and suffering rock. Every time I touch this rock, I remind myself to embrace this pain and suffering, this anxiety, these negative emotions, to embrace them, not as a negative emotion, but more of like a more positive emotion. So let me get gas, stop, and maybe part 2 I'll continue the rest of the drive and go a little deeper with some of the other examples and some of the ideas that I have as far as furthering this line of thought that I'm working on for myself to be better. Because, yeah, no reason. Right? Constantly harping and reminding myself and everyone of all the negative reasons, reverberating those negative thoughts and ideas back into this flow. Actually, those are good things, right? See, there it is. You have to remember that. That's not bad. Those are all good things. Those are positive things that I love. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I gotta go. I'll get back to you. Love you. Bye.